In this video, we talk about DB2 configuration. DB2 has autonomic capabilities where DB2 can tune, monitor, optimize, and configure itself. We talk more about each of these autonomic capabilities in other videos. In this particular video, we describe the 4 levels to configure DB2 and how this is done manually with command line tools or with IBM Data Studio. In this chart, we can see a DB2 Express C server. It can be installed on either Linux or Windows, and this server has an instance called myinst, and within this instance a database called mydb1 has been created. Now, the first level of configuration is at the operating system. One key environment variable is DB2 instance. This variable indicates the active instance you are working on and for which your DB2 commands would apply. For example, to set the active instance to myinst in Windows, you can run this operating system command, set db2 instance equals myinst. Note that there is no space before or after the equal sign. After you press enter the DB2 instant operating system, environment variable will be set now to the value of myinst. The second level is using the database manager configuration file or DBMCFG. The DBMCFG file includes parameters that affect the instance and all the databases contained within. To review DBMCFG configuration parameters issue, DB2 get DBMCFG and press enter. As you can see, there are many parameters you can change. Let's say we want to update the parameter called intra-parallel, which right now has a value of yes. So let's say we want to change it to the value of no. To do that, we run the command db2 update dbmcfg using, and we input the parameter name intra-parallel and the value of number. As you can see, the update was successful. The third level is using the database configuration file or DBCFG. This will configure parameters at the database level. To review DBCFG configuration parameters, issue the command db2 get dbcfg for sample. In this particular case, we are getting the database configuration file for the sample database and we press enter. We get another list of parameters, and this list of parameters is different than the list of parameters for the DBMCFG at the instance level. To make changes to a parameter, issue the command db2 update dbcfg for sample using. And then you specify a parameter. So let's say you want to change the parameter logfilsys, and we want to change it to the value of 1234. So when we press enter, and then that particular configuration parameter has been changed to the value of 1234. Finally, the last level to configure DB2 is using the DB2 profile registry, which can be set either DB2 registry has no relationship whatsoever with the Windows registry. DB2 registry variables may be used, for example, to set some special behavior for DB2 for a given operating system to take advantage of. an operating system feature. To review the DB2 profile registry variables that have been set, you can issue the command DB2 set all. As you can see, there are different parameters that have been set. The E means it has been set at the environment variable. The I means it's been set at the instance level. And the G means it's been set at the global, which means it would apply to all instances. To review all DB2 profile registry variables that can be set issue, DB2 set. As you can see, there are many registered variables that can be set. If you want to set a specific registered variable, let's say the DB2 set DB2 com TCP IP. Note that there are no spaces before or after the equal sign. Then press enter. It is recommended as well to issue a DB2 stop and then a DB2 start to ensure that the parameter or registry variable takes effect. To set DBM or DB parameters from IBM Data Studio, simply write or on a specific database and choose configure. Either of these two choices will open the same panel with two tabs. A tab for instance and a tab for database. If you had chosen to configure by right clicking on instance, it would have opened this instance tab, and if you can had right click on the database and choose to configure, it would have opened the database tab. So let's maximize this window by double clicking on this tab. And from here, you can see the different parameters in this case. These are the parameters at the instance level because tab that I'm highlighting, and if you want to make a change, you can double click on the new value, and let's say I'm going to change this particular one to the drive D. Now you can also get some description of a given parameter by just moving your mouse on top of that parameter, as I'm showing in this example. Now once I'm done with my change, what I can do is I can take a look at the command that is generated, because my selections are basically generating a command behind the scenes. In this case, it is issuing a update dbmcfg using dft dbpath and setting it to the value of D, the drive D. So now I'm going to execute this command and I press run. And after a few seconds, the command completes successfully.